Hi, I'm Shur-ēē Tay-bur, the founder of Energy Healing Arts. Welcome to our video series on sovereignty. In this episode, we're going to talk about what it means to have various kinds of energetic healing. Some of our clients who came into this lifetime to have very specific experiences with the unique and congested kinds of energetic conditions that we have and that we are all experiencing in this lifetime. And if you're a person who intended prior to incarnating to have some of these experiences so that you could understand what's happening for whatever the reason, and you're a client of ours, the divine made a recommendation for you to receive certain kinds of download programs. A download is the download of an ongoing, varietal, or variated, divine, pure source light frequency. This frequency continuously ends that which is with you, that which may be in your home, that which may be in your office or your car or spaces that you use. Those frequencies that come to you are personal. They're not just a set that everybody gets. The divine knows you. The divine, and you spoke of this before you ever incarnated. What you are receiving or what you experience in this lifetime was known before you intended to incarnate. Because it was known, you and the divine, who is pure source light, work together to create, to define, to perfect the kind of provisions, protections, and so many other divine ideas, intentions. Okay, we're going to back up because I didn't mean to say ideas. And this is what happens when we start to address this topic. Because when we begin to understand why we're having energetic experiences, why we're having experiences we don't like, and begin to really realize they're all energetically oriented or originated, energy will come to those who try to help you understand, and likely to you, so that it shows up in ways either I or some other did not explain, missed talking about, or tries to show up in a way that says, see, they don't know what they're talking about. So I'm going to go back a little bit because the divine's ideas are knowing. They don't have ideas because they're all knowing. The divine is the creator. There isn't anything the creator, who is God, who is pure source light, does not know. So scratch what I said a second ago. These download programs are divine intentions, divine decisions, divine protections, divine action. That is a powerful program. I don't know how to describe it any differently. If you came into this lifetime with a very challenging plan, very challenging purpose, challenging means that it's the kind of divine purpose that energetic conditions would continue to harass, to cause you to fail, to cause you to be delayed, to cause you to be unable to fulfill. That's a challenging purpose. When we come in with a challenging purpose, it's because we're going to change things. We're going to change the world one person at a time. Perhaps the one person is the one who changes things en masse. Maybe we change the world en masse. Maybe our words change lives, inspire people in a way that they become capacitated to fulfill their own purpose, divine purpose. We might think we personally have some intentions the divine might not be up to doing for us, or that we have certain ideas, or that we have certain goals that the divine probably doesn't want to include. That's not true. Because if you have certain goals and certain ideas and certain intentions, you can bet 100% they were already divinely inspired. As we learn how this works to be human, to be you, this makes more sense. So keep watching, because we're going to try to dial all this in a way that each person can understand it. Because if you can understand it, you will have an excitement about your life that you didn't have. You'll start to enjoy sovereignty in a way maybe you never have, or in a way you haven't in a very long time. These past few years, leading up to 2020 and the years thereafter, are challenging. They were intended to be. A lot of us had phase purposes throughout our life. Various phases required various fulfillments of our purpose that can look differently at different ages, different phases of culture and time. And a lot of us began to awaken to a new phase of fulfilling our purpose through these years I've just described. So I talked about our sovereignty subscription program because that program aligns with each member's divinely created, divine personal lifetime incarnate plan. It supports the person so that the fulfillment of their pre-incarnate intention for this lifetime can be fulfilled perfectly. The programs I talked about that are divine frequencies, these fulfill each individual, unique person's divinely created, divine, personal lifetime incarnate plan. This is how we were intending to come in, to be here, to receive incredible divine provisions, protections, perfections, potentiations, promises, so many beautiful divine ways of holding us so that we can fulfill what we came, so that we experience that which we knew when we were enlightened was required in this human presence, so that we could fully, not somewhat, so that we would fully fulfill our divine purpose. And so that along the way, along the lifetime of each of us, we learned what we needed to learn so that when the exact time came to fulfill a phase of the purpose, we were ready. So those are two kinds of programs we offer. And then there are personal sessions, whether you have sessions that are face-to-face, or you have remote sessions, or you have a program which we currently call an unlimited sovereignty session program. And some of those with the most challenging lifetimes have each of these in place so that they can move forward and learn what they need to learn, run their lives in the way that they need to be run, and manage these kinds of things all at the same time. An unlimited sovereignty session program is intended to end that which should never have become part of their life. When a person comes in with the intention and the purpose divinely to experience certain kinds of energetic conditions, other energy that's resonant is almost always likely to show up. The Unlimited Sessions, Sovereignty Sessions program is intended to end those predictively. And we live in a very congested, very overly congested collective. It's everywhere. Because it is, and because there was a phase between December 2022 and February 2023, when there was an escalation in the number of energetic conditions, entities, and other kinds of energetic phenomenon, energetic life that expanded, that was created not by the creator, and that was able to hold space and place in various kinds of time, which is difficult to understand. And it was personal. So these intentions were created to be personal. So let's just say energetic condition A fell over your greater community. Every single person in that community had a personal experience with energetic condition A. Energetic condition A in this example has the intelligence to understand each individual person, pet, or incarnate, non-incarnate, animate, and not animate, or inanimate condition, or person, or living things intention for this lifetime. Because everything is given an intention by the creator when it's created. And in this example, condition A has capacity to understand what it is, has the power to create a particular program, so to speak. I'm going to try to use non-technical, non-triggering of other kinds of conditions energetically, words, so it makes some sense without triggering what could be in your environment. I have a little bit of energetic condition going on right here while I try to explain this to you. It keeps bringing what feels like a very fine hair into my eye, around my mouth, and my nose. So excuse me for doing that. So let's say that energetic A addresses your home. Let's say you have a few people living in your home. That energetic condition has the capacity to look at each person's life, understand their vulnerabilities, understand their weaknesses, understand their intolerances, understand perhaps any kind of a condition they may have come into this lifetime with that could cause them to be more induced by an energetic condition. Some are not, because they came in such a way that they said, no, God, not in this lifetime, no inducing, no influencing, no overshadowing, not me, not in this lifetime. And then agreement came in and protective provisions came in for those who did that. Some of us didn't do that. Why? Because our enlightened source incarnating source energy, which is enlightened, knew that you or I or anyone in that house or anywhere else had an experience that was required so that they could fulfill their divine purpose. So some of us have to deal with these energies for the purpose of understanding some things. That understanding should only come from the divine. Only the divine, who is pure source light, not from the energy at all. Communicating with these energies is a dangerous idea. So let's say that condition A has done their evaluation, recognizes that They'll do this to number one person, this to number two person. They found the alpha person in the house, so they're going to really quash the alpha person, 2 pets or 3 pets or no pets. And what each person's intentions are, vulnerabilities, what each person loves and needs, and then begins attacking those. This is the kind of energetic influence most homes throughout the world are experiencing. Depending on your understanding of energetic conditions, depending on what you've learned, what you've watched on TV, what you've read, you have created a framework through which you understand paranormal. If you've never read, never studied, never watched movies, good. You may not have a framework through which you understand it. If you are inclined to believe everything is a medical problem, which I'm not faulting, it sounded like it when I said it, that wasn't my intention. But if you are more of the mind that if you have an ongoing pain, throbbing, something that happens every single day, the same time, or you're not even aware of what time, you're inclined to look at it through a medical conditions lens. That's also dangerous because energy will come to meet your idea of what you have in numbers for the purpose of fulfilling it. And if you have come to understand that every single thing you have, every single thing that occurs begins with an energetic condition in your energy body, you may begin to recognize, holy blank, I got a whole lot of blank going on. Now what? And let's say you're the person who happens to have a sovereignty subscription. Let's say you're the person who happens to have an unlimited sovereignty program with unlimited sovereignty sessions. Anything it takes to get you sovereign, you can ask. And the whole time, whether you ask or you don't, it is working. Sometimes a person's like, okay, this little itch I got going on, I cannot get to. It is deeper than my capacity to scratch. Please end this. Sometimes the conditions that are with you create requirements that require a person to ask for something to be resolved. Now, that gets confusing when you perceive that your sovereignty subscription, that your unlimited sovereignty sessions that are always occurring by the divine realm, they don't miss a thing. What the heck's happening? I got all this going on. Why am I spending this money when I still have to ask for things? That's a legitimate question, and we're going to get to it. Okay. And you're getting sovereignty sessions of the non-traditional kind, which means now you have a traditional session addressing things that are not being covered by either of those programs. Those are non-traditional conditions that require a very specific kind of session, that require a lot of protection on behalf of each who could be connected to that very energy, which could mean the whole world, could mean the whole community, could mean all kinds of things. And those non-traditional sessions are happening. Now that's quite an investment in one's sovereignty, emotionally, at the mind plane, at the spirit plane, at the emotion planes and fields, and at the physical planes, fields, spaces, and hidden spaces. And I get it. Look, I'm human. I'm a person. Yes, I'm a practitioner. Yes, I've been doing this for a really long time. And I also experienced this. And I have to tell you, if you could see me, I'd be like, what the heck? How is this possible? How is it possible? Well, I'm going to tell you, because if we could see a scenario where this is in place and what exactly is happening, If we could see a scenario where it wasn't, we would say, holy cow, or some other words. This could be overwhelming if I permitted it to be. If I choose to hold this in a way that causes me to crumble internally, then what? So guess what? We're not going to hold it that way. We're not going to let energy cause us or incline us to hold this information in a way that causes a crumbling of any kind, that causes any kind of information to come to you or your home or to any other for any reason whatsoever, no exceptions. This is educational, where we understand, which is a little different than knowing, because a knowing is something that settles within you, given to you in the right spaces within your energy body by the divine for the purposes of letting your whole being understand something that sometimes is communicated to your heart, that sometimes then, and only after it's communicated to your heart, gets communicated to your brain. When the brain receives it, the brain does some mighty things, some pretty majestic, awesome things. It knows, is my whole self? Am I, this human being, this person, ready to know at a cognizant and conscious level these things? This knowing that the divine just gave to me. The brain has an everlasting, uninterrupted connection to the divine. This is how we are divinely created. For some, that's cognizant and consciously known. For others, it isn't. I don't know anything more than that. Each person is unique. When it isn't known cognizantly and consciously, the brain is informed through its brilliance, divine genius, and divine intelligence, spaces, places, fields, planes, and knows if or what parts of this to tell you. A piece that can handle, tolerates the wrong word, a piece that can hold you through something that could melt you down is how we get through things that could cause you an interruption of any kind. An interruption in your capacity to thrive. An interruption in your capacity at the mental, emotion, or mind plane, fields, spaces, places to handle something. It all depends on what kind of influence is with you at the time. Those that are receiving sessions with a practitioner receive audio, video, perhaps in person or email, explanations of what the session was about. Explanations that are given by the divine through the practitioner for the purpose of giving the exact kind of information that that person is capable of understanding in that minute, in that space of time. And it's perfected by the divine. Your practitioner knows who the divine is. Your practitioner has a relationship that goes beyond their job. And for those who work and are part of energy healing arts, it's not a job, it's a purpose. Those who support our work at Energy Healing Arts are fulfilling their purpose at 100% at this phase of their life. Or they don't come here, because we'll help them understand what their purpose is and why we aren't the place for them. It's beautiful. If we only all understood how to do this, we would have a world supporting each person in becoming their best self right now. So, the divine has a way of helping us receive the information we need every single second of our life. If you have all of these programs or one, and you are experiencing energetic conditions, you are probably asking, what is happening? Why am I getting these energetic conditions when I thought I was having a sovereignty program? Why do I need a non-traditional session? Why would I have these and then spend money for a traditional, or a non-traditional healing session? Every person's answer is different. And what I'm going to do is create an understanding of why you may be experiencing this. And for those who have no program, no practitioner, no downloads by the divine that clear predictively or in any other way. What I'm going to explain in this session is why you are experiencing energetic congestive conditions. Nothing happens with anyone. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you have a known relationship with the divine. It doesn't matter if you decided to have a zero relationship with the divine, or if you've never made a decision about it in your whole life. It doesn't matter. Your vital life force energy, which is your spirit, which is your unique, divinely created light, was given to you the moment you were conceived in the womb. It's yours. It is divinely created for you. And you need to be in possession of 100% of it at all times, or your capacity to thrive begins to diminish. 99% of your vital life force energy is not enough, because the 1% has been absconded by an entity that intends to take more. It will use your energy to fulfill the intention that caused it to be with you. This is a complex, very complex condition. I could spend forever talking about the various ways in which this can occur, why it could, and what can happen because it did. So rather than do that, I'm going to give you conceptual, some metaphorical, and some personal stories that will help you understand it, that will help your brain remember, that will help any area of your energy body that has energetic conditions with it start to remember that doesn't belong with you. That came at a time when neither your brain or your energy body had the capacity to stop it, to end it, to get rid of it, to heal. And the way that the divine will guide me to share this with you will begin healing you. Every video I personally do is held by the divine. Every word I say is held by the divine. Every video is sovereign. Every video is forever eternally held in its sovereignty. Every person who watches this is protected by the divine so that you can watch this without incurring any episodic or chronic or acute incoming energetic condition. Every video, always. If while you're watching this video, you experience an energetic condition, something else triggered it. It could be anything. Could be the fan. Could be the time of day. Could be that someone you're connected to just had an onslaught of energy occur, and some of it comes to you because of your connection. Could be 100 things. Could be another energetic condition came into your neighborhood, sat still for a while, did that whole scanning, diagnostic, understanding of who has what going on, sees that a cousin or an unknown relative or person that you don't even remember having a connection with just had one too, which gives that neighborhood energy a lot more leverage with those in the neighborhood who are incurring other kinds of energetic conditions. Anything can happen. I personally ask the divine to clear and hold anything I read or watch, anything that comes to me. That way, I know that any experience I have has nothing to do with what it is I just opened up, or began to read, or began to shop, or began to understand something that I think I need, because every platform at one time or another has been addressed by energetic conditions that were creating intentions for every person who was shopping or looking or using a platform, including servers for massive, massive, massive global organizations. And it gets that story, just imagine it, that trickles down to the smallest. That is what kind of energetic pandemic we're living through. Some of that has been cleared. Some of it is held in such a way it cannot return. And if you encounter a website, platform, a tool, online anything, a book that has energy that's overshadowing it, you'll know. You'll fall asleep, you can't read it, you'll know. So you can protect all things by asking the divine to hold the intention that they created and intended for whatever that is you're getting ready to do. For everything. Crystals, bed, mattress, pillow, everything. Nightstand, the wires you use to plug in your phone, watch, whatever. That includes batteries and anything that uses them. So this is just a snapshot of the energetic, congested environment within which we live. Because it is, we offer a lot of programs to support felt sense sovereignty. I explain this because my clients watch these videos as well as non-clients. Felt sense sovereignty is what happens for a person who came here with the intention and purpose of having energetic experiences. For those who did, having a felt sense knowing that they are safe, even in the midst of experiencing what they're experiencing, is crucial to their sanity. It's crucial to their mental balance. It's crucial to their mind. It's crucial to their thriving. And yes, you can thrive when you are experiencing what the divine promised you would experience when you incarnated. For exactly the experience you intended, no more, no less. When you are that client, we are guided to recommend to you very specific products, very specific services, very specific downloads that the divine created because you asked for it before you came. These programs, services, downloads create a safe place for you to continue living your life while you learn, while you have experiences, and support your mental emotion, your spirit and physical and mind sanity, balance, safety, and security. Those are the things we need to have in place to thrive through experiences we may not fully understand, experiences that we may hold as frightening, fearful, not understanding, not certain about what that means tonight while I try to sleep, or tomorrow when I have to get this project done. And your children came in the same way. Understand they're divinely created, divine personal lifetime incarnate plan, so you can raise them in the best way, so that you can be part of this whole self, whole being, which is in the body of a little one, so that you can be part of their capacity to thrive rather than part of what they must overcome as they get older. A lot of us are spending our lifetime overcoming intentions of our parents that were not well conceived, that may have been handed down through their parents, that may have been made as an intention for their ease, for their convenience, so that you grew up in the way they thought was proper, best, so that you could move on at 18, so that you wouldn't be a financial burden later, so that they could start traveling because they had you young, or so that they could keep having their personal, professional life experiences without you becoming a hindrance. Most of us don't make those intentions that way. We make them in such a way that we don't realize the energetic possibilities and the energetic intention to re-articulate that so that it resonates true, so that it's kind of true, so that it can be taken to a place of incapacitating a person from fulfilling their divinely created, divinely intended, personally intended purpose that they knew was really crucial before incarnating. Be certain to ask the divine, who is pure source light, who is God, who is the creator, to hold, to perfect, every intention, every willful thought, act, inspiration, ideation, inclination, intention you have for anything, so that it's perfected, so that it never harms anyone, so that it doesn't attempt to bring in other kinds of energy to fulfill it in a way you may not have truly intended. The outcome likely to turn out the way you intended it. The process of that could end a lot of things that were never supposed to be ended, could ensue a lot of things that were never supposed to occur. We do not have that kind of knowing. For this reason, we are each battling energetic congestive conditions because of the way our current world is. So, if you are having energetic experiences, which could be residual COVID, whether it's viral, bacterial, existing in your blood, in your liver, in your spleen, in your gallbladder, in your gut, which it loves to hide in the gut, in the stomach, in your brain, in your throat, esophagus, in your various crucial systems, lymph, others, many. Most of us have residual COVID, even if we did not receive viral or bacterial COVID. COVID is an energetic pandemic. It comes to you first as an entity. Before that, it comes to you as an intention. And if anyone ever made intentions upon your life, COVID also decided to answer those too, no matter how old they are, no matter when they occurred, no matter with what kind of energy, passive, hate, evil level, resonating energy, context, no matter. COVID decided to take that on too. Oh, that was resolved by the divine eternally? No problem. By something else? By anything other than the divine? COVID had a way of resurrecting that. COVID had a way of recreating even that which was eternally resolved. Recreating means it reenacted it through etheric fields of intention. It means they created story, they created intention, they created thought fields, thought forms, thought thoughts, and that which harms, to recreate tragic, very, very tragic kinds of curses, spells, spellbound curses, and other spellbound metaphysical arts modalities. So, if you feel a little overcome and overwhelmed, energy may be coming to you that is recreated from something that was resolved. It could be coming to you because things are healing and old things that never got their heyday in your life energetically that were intended upon you, and they've been waiting for their turn, maybe not as powerful of an influence as what's been present. And once the biggies get moving, get ended forever with you, those that have been waiting in line come up next. And it can just be one after the other, after the other, after the other. If you lived a life where people made intentions upon you, And if you encountered any kind of authority figure, which could be a parent, any aunt and uncle, an older sibling, a foster, a person who perceived themselves to be in authority, a church, synagogue, house of worship, cult, therapy, teachers, anyone you gave honor to, because that's who you are, have energetic authority unless you decide they don't. I will give honor to a lot, to nearly all, and I will not be induced, inclined, or required by anything, by any, to give that honor. Nothing will decide that which is authority in my life. Nothing. Because I came in a particular way. And in the way that I came in is exactly the way I'm supposed to be. I do not need an energy causing me problems because they want to use the perception of their perception of an authority figure to harm me. I came in to learn some things. I learned that the energetics of COVID used perceptions of certain kinds of people, of certain conditions that created unrealistic conditions. Of parents, of friends who perceive themselves in authority over me. COVID leveraged that, inspired, inclined, induced, encouraged some to curse me based on a perception brought to them by COVIDic entities. Now we're talking, these are people who are seasoned in this industry, this healing industry. These are powerful people whose network of energies are powerful. When that network of energies can incline a very powerful person to have a perception so that they make an intention cognizantly, consciously, that was the intention, by that which inclined, induced, inspired, influenced, communicated, conveyed, projected to them to do that. This is happening a lot. A person that energetic conditions have determined will have authority over other people, can incline a thought, an idea, can incline that person in authority that they have decided is an authority to receive information in a way that isn't true, to bring it to them in a way through a field of intention that's not accurate. They do this with everybody. And it's just accurate enough. It has the perception and the sense and the felt sense that this isn't evil, that this isn't coming from a hate scaled resonance. And they keep getting it. And it keeps getting peppered. And as it gets peppered, so the story has already been accepted or it would be rejected. Once we reject a story that we know, you feel is just a lie, once you reject it, it can't return. It might return later, but it can't come back when you say, no, out, end. That's not true. If I need to know anything, the divine will tell me. If this is the divine, then I will know. Otherwise, this goes away. That's how you stay safe. If you don't know to do that, whether you're a globally known teacher, person of authority, pastor, then you can be inclined, induced, inspired, influenced, projected to, communicated to, conveyed to, possessed, or intruded upon, obsessed or overshadowed, to begin to believe something that causes that person in authority, energetically in authority, to make a few decisions. Okay, I'll fortress those decisions. Oh, okay, I'll put another fortress around those decisions. So that means that's not enough. What else do I need to do? We'll take care of it. All right. That is what an internal conversation could sound like. And it occurs. And when it happens similarly to that, when the intention is similar to that of the energetic condition that comes to one, of the one who begins to become afraid of something that never occurred, people die. People fail to thrive very fast. These kinds of energies have the capacity to understand how a human being functions at every level. They can end up knowing more about you than you do. When this occurs, your vital life force energy is coming down. Energy is coming in to certain places, spaces, fields, and planes within your body. When they do this, it becomes increasingly difficult to perceive the difference in knowing, which means truth, until it doesn't. Because this can cause a person to begin to remember things differently, to begin to have recall differently than what reality was. That's the whole intention. Then they begin to have symptoms. Sometimes it looks like dementia or Alzheimer's. Sometimes it looks like schizophrenia. Sometimes it looks like mental meltdown. Sometimes you can watch them looking around trying to find out where that thought went. Where's the next thought that's going to help me make sense of this? And then they lose context. They lose the thread. They lose reality. This is what's happening when a person isn't being held by the divine through these energetic conditions. Who am I talking about? If you came here to experience energetic conditions for whatever reason, if the divine agreed that this was your divine experience in this lifetime, the divine created provisions and protections, you may still experience that only if your source incarnating spirit energy intended to. And if your source incarnating energy intended to experience this as a person, they also have divine promises which bring limitations. If you did not come to have these experiences, if that was not a divine intention, and this begins to occur, you need the programs we talked about. Whether you get them from me or you get them in some form, directly from the divine, from a practitioner who works with the divine, through your own intention, perhaps. For some, that works. For some, they need support. But if you are experiencing these things, you need support. You need to be held by the divine, who is pure source light, who is God, who is the creator, who is the divine realm. They will hold you. They will help you. They will hold you through that which you intended to experience, whether you know this cognizantly or consciously or not. And if you had no intention of this pre-incarnation, the divine will heal you. And when we have someone supporting us who isn't overcome, who isn't being inclined, who isn't being induced, who knows the divine, you can get information you need to thrive through this, to become healed. Most people understood when they came into this lifetime, not as a person, but as that source incarnating energy that is in the heavenly realms, knew that in this lifetime, they would encounter certain kinds of energetic conditions. These are phases. Depending on what the outcome intention was, you either need to be held through it, receiving communication that helps you understand what's happening so you can thrive in spite of it, while you learn what you're supposed to learn in it. You need to be held in the kinds of divine care that are available, so that what shouldn't be with you is no longer, so that what was provisioned stays within the limits of that provision, so that you understand what's going on. Understanding. Everything we talk about is about understanding. When your whole self and your mind and your emotion and your mental and your physical and your spirit planes, fields, spaces, hidden places, those 5 categorical crucial places. There's a whole lot more that needs to understand. But when these 5 categorical, very, very important places, spaces, fields, and hidden places, I meant to say planes a minute ago. When these 5 planes, fields, spaces, and hidden places become congested with anything, a person's capacity to thrive begins to diminish rapidly. You may need intervention physically. You may need intervention therapy. You will know. Your people around you will help you understand. Don't be defensive. Don't take it in the worst way you can possibly take it. Take it as though they are intending to save your life. You most certainly need intervention of the energy healing kind. That's how the energy gets removed from your planes, spaces, fields, and hidden places. That is how energy gets removed from your physical body, which can be communicated to when any energetic condition gets into the physical planes, because our energy body goes through our whole self. That's how the flesh and blood become, through the intention of your energy body, which is divinely created for this lifetime. If you're receiving support from a practitioner who works with the divine realm, That's the Creator, who is God, who is Jesus, who is the Holy Spirit, who is the Holy Trinity, and the archangels of the divine realm. When your practitioner works with the divine realm, your source incarnating energy becomes present to support in a way perhaps it wasn't before. I can't tell you for you personally. These are conceptual, perhaps, conditions. Perhaps. Could be they have been all along present. Could be you intended that they weren't. Could be that perhaps now you can intend that they are. Let's just do that. That all of your divine energy, all of your divine essences, all of your divine realm energy, and all of your divine realm essences are with you now. Let's make that intention. And if for some reason that's not in alignment with a plan that cannot be modified, then as quickly as possible. Because when they are present, when they are with you and they are enlightened, a certain power becomes available to end things in a way you likely have never seen in your life. When this occurs, things start ending fast. And by ending, I mean that which doesn't belong. That which is being harmed begins to heal. Does it heal all at once? Sometimes. Some things. Does it heal over time? Probably. Because everything is designed, is implemented, is affected, and effected based on your personal, only yours, divinely created, divine personal lifetime incarnate plan. This can be challenging this lifetime, maybe your plan. Mine is. The only way I make it through it is by knowing the truth. What is the truth? The truth is the divine never, ever leave us, ever. Your very light, which is what enlightens, that brightens. These are not the right words, they're the words that are coming through. They are the life of your energy body, therefore your physical body. Your vital life force energy is the light of your source incarnating energy, that which incarnated into this lifetime, which is you, in the flesh and bone version. Your light holds your life. You've seen people whose light's missing in their eyes. That means their vital life force energy is depleting badly, fast. If your light is depleting, call us. We'll help you. Call a practitioner who works with the divine realm. Here's why I am really assertive about this. For most people, the kind of energy that funds these kinds of conditions is often human, is often of a realm that only the divine can resolve. No other. The divine can resolve anything. They have no limitations. They are the creator. Because they are, why work with any other? Why? I have the utmost respect for all helping spirits, everyone, for everyone. In this work, you need to work with those who have no limitations, and they must be of the divine realm to have no limitations. When you work with the creator, The creator's intention is what matters. And if you've got someone who's failing to thrive, unless it's the end of their life and they intended to fail to thrive before they went to the next place, which would be back with their source incarnating energy, unless they decided this before they came for good reason, then failing to thrive is not part of how you end this lifetime. That's not my intention. I do not intend to fail to thrive my way to death. Not happening. Not happening. Maybe you want to make some intentions about what that looks like. I don't intend to fail to thrive. Enough of that. I had those experiences. I am finished with that. That is as strong of an intention as I have the capacity to make, knowing that God perfects it, holds it, protects it, potentiates it, and then conditions it so no one, no thing can violate it. It's my intention that the divine honor that. And if the divine cannot honor that, it's my intention that the divine tells me ASAP why and what I might have designed before I came that would be different. Because maybe we need another conversation. Me, my incarnating source energy, and the divine. That's possible. And I've done it. And it's worth doing. So the whole purpose of this edition, this episode of the Sovereignty series, is so you have a very clear understanding of why energetic conditions keep coming to you. If you are not a client and this is still not clear, it likely means you have a very specific divine intention that we didn't talk about, because I tried to cover the biggest conceptual understanding of why you might be getting energy that doesn't belong to you. There is a list exponentially long of why you personally could be incurring energetic hate or evil from another. If this wasn't a divine intention, if this was not the divinely held, protected, potentiated, perfected intention of your source incarnating energy and the divine, and if it wasn't supposed to be happening right now, it can be ended. End it. Make an intention right now. This is done. Over, out. Thank you, God. And then ask. I'm going to use my hand. I dowse with my hand when I'm on a video so that other people can understand how to get an answer if they have energetic overshadowings or intrusions or communications that are trying to block you from hearing the divine. Make the intention that that's not happening. And then you may be able to hear. That may take a little bit of time. If it does, then let's ask the divine, hold your whole energy body, your whole self, all things, the room, all, so you can get a straight answer. Yes is up and down, no is left and right. This is up and down, left to right, in case it doesn't convey the same on your monitor. Do I have an intention of any kind, whether it's anything, person or anything? Is there an intention that's supporting or in any way causing energetic influence? I do this until the answer comes. This is neutral as I'm talking. Do I have an intention or any kind of condition causing energy to come to me that is not part of my divinely created, divine, lifetime incarnate plan that should not therefore be with me. Now look at that's my answer right there. I do. I work on this all the time. Irritating. Is this an intention of someone energetic conditions decided would be an authority over me? Are they authority? Misperception. Healing? Can it be ended now? Can it be ended forever right now? No more energetic influence, intrusion of any kind, of any kind. Yes. Energy wants me to believe it can't be. Intention? Okay, so that was my shorthand. That was me saying things to God that God knew what I was already saying. God said, right this minute, this very minute, I can make an intention that that's resolved forever. And I am also going to stretch that intention to include all things that are resonant, similar, things that are opposite, things that are the same, things that are kind of like the same, all energetic conditions, all kinds of intentions, all any for which there exists a divine resolve. Be removed now. You can do that too. All things related, ended, restored. And I'm asking if they're being restored right now. That means the resolution phase is full, fully fulfilled. The restoration field, the restoration process is many processes. Is it happening? Is it going to be ended and fully resolved and restored today? Is the restitution phase nearly finished? Is the manifestation field of that which was promised to me that must be done, that is required for me according to the promises and the plan that was divinely created for this lifetime for me, beginning today? Did it begin yet? It will begin today. I am asking, as I teach, that all energetic conveyance conditions, anything that could come to me in any way that interrupts my true physical life, full life, sovereignty, be held so that it cannot. This is possible right now. That means that I'll have no more energetic interruptions, conveyances, nothing. This is divinely true. This is the truth. Yes. The truth is that the divine never leaves you. The truth is that gratitude begins to shift energy immediately. Does it always heal? I don't know. Does it always change the energy? You bet. Thank you, God. Thank you, Divine Realm. Thank you for watching while I just demonstrated what I'm talking about. This is life. That intention came from a teacher in the last 6 years. Misperception, guided by malice, hate, and evil, and greed, and fear that came to them so that harm would come to me by a powerful person for the purpose of ending. I'm going to leave it there. This congestive, energetic condition within which we live is complicated. It is complex. It is frustrating, infuriating, and it destroys things like relationships, which we need to thrive. Let's intend right now that all is being resolved on your behalf right now. I encourage you to keep watching the series on sovereignty. It's my intention, inspired by the divine, certainly driven by my divinely created, divine personal lifetime incarnate plan to share with you everything you need to know to become sovereign. You may need support. I hope I can help you. I'd love to. I also hope, more than that, that you find the perfect practitioner or practice that works only with the divine, so you can be healed forever, eternally, as quickly as possible, while honoring everything that needs to be honored. So your life is the way you intended before you came. I hope you enjoyed this series. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope it makes sense. As I sit here as a person just like you, I can see where this answers some big questions and leaves a lot of little ones unanswered, perhaps. What I do know is true, that if you ask the divine to heal that which needs to be healed, so that you can be in communication with them, you can ask and know, and the divine will teach you how to do this. You can be guided to do everything you personally can do to fulfill your best life, your 100% prime health, and your 100% life safety. And you'll know if you need another person of any kind of modality or practice, because they'll tell you if you ask. If you ask them to guide you, they will. It's kind of an amazing process. It happens all the time, and I love it. Please keep watching. Please know we care deeply, and that these videos are not to promote our programs. These videos are to create an understanding for everyone, for our clients who have questions about why these things keep happening, even though they have these programs in place. Why were the programs recommended by the divine? And I get to still enjoy these terrible experiences that I don't want to have. And therefore, our viewers who may not be a client, who may not know us at all, so that you can begin to become well, fully healthy, so that you can learn how to make really good intentions that are held by God, that are held by the divine, so that your family can heal, so that every one of you enjoys the life you came here to fulfill, so that your purpose is fulfilled. Because you came to make this a better place. And if no one told you today, you matter a lot. Blessings to you of every divine gift that you intended to have in this lifetime be with you now and forever. See you in the next video.